Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this wonderful dishwashing scrubby using only a simple puff stitch. You won't want to miss this one. Be right back. If you want another way to connect, check out my Etsy shop. If you scroll the page, you'll be sure to see some of the wonderful things that I've been making that are unique patterns that you can buy, along with some digital art that you may also like. From table mats and pot holders to amigurumi, all the way down to scarves and other delectable treats that you can whip up right from the comfort of your own home. Be sure to give me a follow. I'd love to hear from you at www.etsy.com/shop/loopsbyelle. To get started, all you're going to need is your favorite size 4 worsted weight yarn and a size 5mm crochet hook. So begin with a simple slip knot. Wrap it over your finger twice. Take this piece of yarn and wrap it over the other. And then with the piece of yarn that you have left behind, you're just going to pick it up and move it over your fingertip. Then you're going to take your crochet hook and put it under that loop you just made and give it a gentle pull. Easy as pie. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start chaining. Now for this particular pattern, this particular stitch rather, we're going to be doing any multiple of 2 plus 4. So I'm going to chain 20 today. So now that we have our chain of 20, which is, as I mentioned before, any multiple of 2 plus 4, we're going to work 4 chains from the hook. So not this one or this one or this one, but this 4th chain. We're going to go ahead and we're going to yarn over and we're going to insert our hook and pull up a loop. We will have 3 chains on our hook, okay, or 3 loops on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over, insert our hook again and pull up a loop, yarn over again, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, and one more time, yarn over, insert our hook, and pull up a loop. And that'll give us a total of 5 times that we've pulled up a loop, and we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 loops on our hook. Okay? Then we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through all of the loops that we have here. Okay? And don't worry if you got to wiggle a little bit. Okay? It'll start going a lot smoother for you. Okay? Now that we've pulled through all of our loops, we're going to do a simple chain. Okay? Now that we finished that first puff, we're going to go ahead and move on to the second one. And what we'll do is we'll skip that chain that's right there and go into the next one. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook, and pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert our hook, and pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert your hook, and pull up a loop. Okay, we have 2 more to do. Yarn over, insert your hook, and pull up a loop. That's 4. Yarn over, insert your hook, and pull up a loop. That's 5. Okay? And so what I like to do at this point is to give it a little bit of a wiggle like this, because it makes it much easier to pull through this piece of yarn we're about to grab. So next, what you're simply going to do is yarn over like before and pull through all of your loops. Oop, that one went flying through there. Okay? And then you're just going to simply give it a chain to finish. Okay? Perfect. Okay? So now you have your 2 puffs here that you've created. Now I want you to go ahead and work your way down and meet me at the end. When you're finished and you're right here at the end working that first row, this is what your work is going to look like. Okay? And here at the end we have 2 of our chains that are left. So what we're going to do is continue by working our final puff into that last chain. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull up a loop 5 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's number 5. Okay, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all of our loops like so. And then what we're going to do is just chain, and we're finished. Okay, now to move on to our second row, we're going to chain 3. So we'll add 2 more to what we did already, and we'll go ahead and we'll turn our work like so. Now to begin row 2, we've already done our turning chain here, and it's going to create a staggered look as we begin working row 2. Okay, you'll see what I mean. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to work right here into this stitch here. Okay, so we'll yarn over, insert our hook, and we'll do like we did before. We'll do it 5 times. So that's 1, yarn over, insert and pull up a loop for 2, yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop for 3, yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop for 4, yarn over and insert your hook and pull up a loop for 5. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through all of your loops, including that turning chain, and then you're going to just do a chain as your finish. Okay, now because we were skipping before, remember in the first row we skipped a chain in between each puff, we're going to skip a stitch now that we're working the second row, and instead of going here we're going to go right in between. You bet it. So we yarn over, insert our hook 5 times as before. So that's 1, that's 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Give it a little wiggle, yarn over and pull through all of your loops and chain. Okay, now for all of my experienced crocheters out there, you're going to realize immediately that these puffs are tilting a different way. That is absolutely the way it's supposed to go. If you're not working in the round, you're going to be going one way and then you'll flip and it's going to slightly lean the other way every time you do the even row. Okay, so we're going to move on, skipping this little stitch here. That's your chain from the puff on the first row. We'll go here, and I'll give you another tip that's helpful. Do remember that you need to keep your puffs loose as you work, because the tighter they are, the harder it's going to be to work into. Okay, so let's continue. Yarn over and we're going to pull through 5 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and there's our 5th one right there. Perfect. Yarn over, pull through all of your loops, and chain. And what I want you to do is go ahead and work all the way to the end, and we'll meet back again. When you're finished with that second row, this is what your work is going to look like. And you can see the stagger that's starting to happen as we place these puff stitches in between the ones that are down here. Okay, you see that these are kind of leaning this way, these are kind of leaning that way a little, and it's going to continue to take shape as you work on through your pattern here, or you're just working through the stitch if you're following the swatch. So I want to draw your attention to the fact that besides the fact that you are staggering your rows, every single row is going to have the same amount of puffs. Okay, so it's really easy to get confused, especially at first, or miss stitches, like we have one that's still remaining that we have to do here. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 puffs here. So on the second row, we need the same number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is what we have. So we have to put that next one there. So we'll continue now. Now I'm going to tell you, it can be very, very easy to miss that last stitch there. That's why I wanted to draw your attention to the fact that you need to make sure that all the puffs on every row are equal. Okay, so you have a little stitch here that's remaining. It's easy to get confused because you have your turning chain of 3 that's right beside it. Okay, so just be aware of that. It can be a little difficult to work into that last stitch, but you'll get it. You go ahead and pull up a loop. You can choose to work into that stitch or into the turning chain, whichever one is best for you. So that's 1 and 2 and 3. Gotta get more yarn here. And 4 and 5. Okay, then as before, you're simply going to pull through all of your loops and chain. And do remember, we're going to need what? A turning chain. You got it. So we're going to chain 3 here. Really, it's 2 more because we already did a chain when we closed out that puff. And we'll turn our work. And as we did before, we're just going to be working right across and putting a puff in between each of the puffs from the row before it. Okay, so we're going to go right into the stitch here, and we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook, and pull up a loop. And that's the third. Yarn over, insert our hook, and pull up our loop for the fourth, and one more. There you go. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through all of your loops, and then you're going to chain 1. Okay, let's do another one together, remembering to skip that next chain that's over that puff and work directly into the next stitch. Yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop. That's 1. Yarn over, insert our hook, and pull up a loop. That's 2. Yarn over, insert our hook, and pull up a loop. That's 3. Yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop for 4, and then we have 1 more to do. Yarn over, insert our hook, whoops, insert our hook, and pull up the last one. Yarn over, pull through all of your loops, and bam, you got it. So work your way all the way down, and I'll meet you at the end. So this is what you should be looking like as you get to the end of row 3, okay? And let's just make sure our counts are looking good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 for this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is 9 for this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll do our 9th now. Okay? So we yarn over. We'll find our stitch, which is not here because that's the chain here. We're going to go into this one if we want to. But since I worked into my turning chain on the last row, I'm just going to work my turning chain on this side. That's just the way I'm going to do it this time. But you most certainly can do it at the top of the stitch. So this is our 3rd, and here's our 4th, and there's our 5th. Yarn over, pull through all of your loops. I'm sure your work is looking good. and then you're going to chain just like so. Okay. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and continue what you've been doing all along. Your work is staggering. Don't worry if it looks a little wonky here. It's all going to make sense as you add each row, because it did look a little wonky over here for a little while. And then it start rounding and starting to even itself out. Okay. So we would simply just chain 2 more because we've already chained that first one. So it's a total of 3 in that turning chain. Flip our work and we'd continue. And see, the interesting thing is this top chain here on the top of that puff is going to push that out when you work here. And so when that gets pushed, it's going to make this side look more like this side. So it's really, really neat. Even though they're going in opposite directions each row, it's going to be wonderful. Okay, so I'll work a few more rows for you so that you can really see how this is going to turn out. Okay, and through the magic of TV, 1, 2, 3, and there you go. Just like that, you're finished. Here you see I've done 8 rows. Okay, and I would recommend making sure that you have an even number of rows. Because you're doing a staggered stitch, like this one, the puff stitch, unless you have the even rows, it's going to look just a little bit wonky. So do it as you like. Make it however you feel comfortable doing. Switch your colors or alternate colors between rows. You can use this finished product as a dishwashing scrubby, which I'm going to do. You could use it as a table mat in your kitchen, or you can even use it as a hot pad if you use cotton yarn and not acrylic. So I'm glad that you joined me today, and I hope you will continue to check out my videos. Give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, from my heart to your hooks, happy crocheting, friends.